Hello, buddy, and welcome back to more Ratchet Clank Rift Apart. I have way too much fun with the photo mode before and after parts, if you can't tell. It's been a little while since we recorded the last, but I have actually played through the game on my own. Like, I have a live stream series on my main channel that if you still want to watch at least my blind legends, you can watch it there. I have the VODs up, or I will by the time this goes up. First two are up. Third one's still uploading. So, first thing, I don't know how I missed that giant glowing purple mass of energy, but I found a way. But you're supposed to have that done already.
I'm gonna go look at the video right now to see how you managed to, in fact, ignore that.
Tanium. As I have come to discover, rare tanium shortage is a very real thing in this game. So I want as much of it as I can get.
That's like the polar opposite of the 2016 game.
Yeah, no. It is very easy to have rare tanium shortages.
So, do you do this Clank section, or are you supposed to, are you supposed to do this purple Rift Clank section or whatever? Do you do it before that little side area with all those bombs, or is it after that?
So I think it's supposed to be before. I'm not entirely sure what the bomb section is. It's this spot
just
right
like
here.
A side section.
Yeah,
okay,
you're
I
supposed
guess
to walk over here and examine it.
Is this
okay? Still gonna let me examine.
After? Is it before or after you do what's it called? Like start killing, doing some genocide again?
It's supposed to be just before that.
Okay.
Right, so Clank reaches out and he becomes a fourth dimensional being. Which, yeah, that's pretty par for the course at this point. I played Crack in Time. Very normal.
Oh. Speaking of which, apparently this is a blatant Crack in Time sequel, which kind of makes me feel bad that you're playing it this early, because you started the Future Trilogy, but you know.
Yeah, I was
what
playing.
Can you do?
It's whatever. We'll give our warning now. This game turns very Crack in Time 2-y at a point. So, you've been warned.
To be fair, nothing in this game up to its lead up, I guess, implied that it was going to be a sequel.
Oh yeah, no. Insomniac said over and over again, it's a standalone game. It is not. They are dirty liars. Do not believe them. And this guy right here is a large reason why it is a blatant sequel. Gary.
I like his name.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's great.
Wait, isn't this guy the creator?
Well, no. He's, yeah, look at this one. It's, friend of your father, which, yeah, that part alone is enough to raise eyebrows.
It is because, okay, so I just want everyone to know, I went through the first 30 minutes of A Crack in Time, and even I know that you're correct there, because even within the first, 30 minutes of the game, they genuinely start to, what's it called? About, Clank's father and stuff like that.
They're talking about, Ratchet's father, not Clank's.
Oh.
Although Ratchet's father also comes up in Crack in Time.
Well, yeah, he's in the promotional art and all that sort of stuff. At least I can assume that's his father. I don't know if it is.
I'm not gonna give you an answer for that because you haven't beaten it yet, but yeah.
Yeah, the time of us recording this, I will be in fact playing.
Yeah, he's literally downloading the game on his PSP right now, so.
It is true. Anyways, back to
I'm being vague for his sake. We still have a few parts before it gets really rough. I think we have until Savali, I think is the plainest name, where it's like, okay, yeah, this is definitely.
I'll probably have the game.
Savali's one of my favorite levels in the game, easily.
Given that the praise that everyone, you included, seems to give A Crack in Time, I'll probably.
But even if it's not your favorite, I doubt I would hate it.
Oh yeah, I doubt I'll just like it. I mean, if the gunplay is fun, that'll be enough to satiate.
Yeah, I think it is. So I haven't really explained how the Clank puzzles work here. Is you have these spheres which basically work as the gadget bots. And you have to throw them into these spheres. The green ones are speed, red ones are jump. There's two more too. There's a yellow one which is electricity. There's a blue one which is weight. You have to combine those together to have these little Clank clones run out here.
I was going to say, I assume that was more or less a combination how one was before another.
Yeah. Then I can step on these to redirect this so that the possibilities, as they are called, it will stop being stupid and run off a cliff.
These don't seem that intrusive so far, but at the same time, they seem kind of just there.
The last one gave me trouble, but none of the others I thought were that hard.
Well, I meant more like, this doesn't seem like this is annoying and bad. It just seems like it kind of just exists.
I mean, honestly, just existing already puts it like top tier Clank, unfortunately.
Well, I was gonna say, for the most part, a lot of Clank sections are kind of like that. Like, I don't like most of them, but they've never been terrible, I would say. Well, at least not in the original 3 games. I would just much rather be doing other things, generally speaking. Like in Up Your Arsenal, that is mostly a third-person shooter game at its core. You know? So I never feel the obligation to ever want to do a Clank section. But I have to because they just exist. I can expect them more...
probably the game that I like them the most in.
What?
Up Your Arsenal is probably the game where I like them the most, at least in the original trilogy. Like,
honestly, for me, I think it's gonna be 2, just because I think 2 has the best. Like, still has the. Why did that one just walk off the cliff? I saw that.
Because they're dumb.
So, anyways, so 2 has a good mix of platforming, gadgets, and weapon play. 3 is mostly just all action, so whenever the action stops, it kind of just bores me, I guess. Ratchet and Clank 1. If Clank didn't move so slow, and if his gadget bots actually respawn close to him,
Gary.
I think I wouldn't mind about them. Also, yeah, bye Gary. I like how his name is Gary, FYI.
Well, it's a code name. He tried saying his original name. He's like, yeah, no, you're never going to be able to understand it, so just call me Gary.
Oh, I wonder if that just means it has like a horrible spelling, therefore he won't be able to understand it, or if it's like Cthulhu, where if you learn it, it literally will be in a language you won't understand.
It's probably just on like Clank, how his original name was just a bunch of numbers and letters.
Ah, yeah.
How the heck are you?
Nah! Get the Mort away from me! We've been over this before, Morts are evil!
Oh, dude, me and him were going off after we finished.
Oh, yeah, like, I looked it up as a joke, because I've always made that joke, because I've heard other people mention it. I was like, oh my god. It's do not trust the Mort, ever.
I mean, look at this guy's, like, mouth and his teeth and stuff. I don't know. I don't like it.
They're gonna fix it. And
Oh,
they already fixed it.
Okay.
Amazing.
So, I see in the video... I've gone to the part where I can see
mechanic.
I can see the purple rift in the background that you missed. So let me see if you just ignored it, because that's probably what ended up happening.
Probably.
It makes me wonder if you actually sequence broke it, or if it literally was something that you could just do at a later point. No, me.
I'm posting the Emperor's hit list to our network. Come on, let's fix that communicator. We've got a dimension.
Wait,
you're gonna fix the communicator, but you're not gonna fix the arm? It can't be that hard. Ratchet did it in like less than an afternoon. Well, going to Zurkon is the best level ever created by mankind. Mr. Zurkon got his own level.
Woo! Also, technically speaking, Ratchet did it immediately in the first game. He just brought him back and immediately, like, just bolted him back together.
Exactly. It's like, good, what gives? You was on your home planet. Like, why not?
Mr. Zurkon is bored.
Let's hear it.
I'm skipping through this video. I'm trying to do it fast so I can actually watch you play.
Feeling a bit responsible for all of this.
That's because it is your fault, Clank. But it was also Nefarious and Ratchet's fault. We've been over this. It was everybody's fault.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, your communicator's about to get fixed, so that's something.
Okay, so you know what it is. You know how you missed it? Split paths. It focuses on Miss Zurkon.
Yeah, so it's what I
did-
was saying before we started, where I thought I probably saw it, then I saw Miss Zurkon. I got distracted
Yep.
by her.
This is,
It's funny because you went to the left and then you got distracted. What I think ended up happening was we might have been mid-conversation, because the cutscene beforehand elaborates that there's a mort, or there are morts that are stuck in there. So, maybe you were actually just ignoring the fact that you had to save morts. That's all I know.
Maybe. Alright, there's a rift over here. I can open, which I should. Rifts are good.
But anyways, so I do think that was why did you actually hit that, or did that just explode by itself?
I didn't see anything just explode by itself. I'm not entirely sure what you're talking about.
Okay, well, I'm just going to assume that whatever you did, the thing as intended. But anyways, yeah, so from the looks of it, that's probably what ended up happening. You probably just noticed it, got distracted, we were mid-conversation, and you had two things to do at that time, which was save the morts there, which don't ever save a mort, or you
Yeah,
get
no,
rid
you
of
were
the
objectively
centipede.
making the world a worse place if you save a mort.
Yeah, or you could do the centipede boss,
Which I did.
which is what you did.
So we got an armor piece. Q-Force helmet. What is Q-Force for? I don't remember what all these are for. Damage
Q-Force
from
is
goons
dead.
for less is lessened by 5%.
Oh, these actually give you bonus?
Yeah,
I actually didn't know that.
And then the gold bolts too. So this is actually different for every bolt you collect. We were wrong about it just speaking for skins. Like every bolt will give you something different, and it'll do that for all 25.
Why is there a rupee from Legend of Zelda right there?
Because there's rupees in the 2016 game too. Any more questions?
Yes. Why did they steal from the Legend of Zelda?
We even used them back in the 2016 game, but I'm guessing you repressed that.
I think I just forgot. It's been a while. It's been a while. Where are all the Zurkons?
We'll run into them. But first, there's a gold bolt over here I want to grab.
Hey, those guys were in Tools of Destruction.
Yeah, there's the gold bolt over there. I just want to boot over there.
Also,
Come on.
I was
Like
I
that.
was correct, right? Also, what? Did they ever tell you could do that?
I think they did in
Or
the
is this just-
tutorial. If not, then they tell you in a future level, and I just already know it.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna say, because that almost feels like they never told.
Or
Also,
no,
turn
yeah,
around, turn
I
around,
think
turn
they-
around.
Oh, yeah, these guys.
Yeah, they're from Tools, right?
I don't think so.
I feel like I've seen these guys. Maybe they're just in this game, and I'm just
I mean, I
drawing
know.
a weird blank.
I know they show up in a level later on in this game. Going to the
Wait.
bolts, there should be another thing in here.
Wait, hold
there's
on.
an enhanced gallery.
Behind you are those two.
Yep, those are the Agents of Doom.
I'm sorry, I noticed them, and I needed you to.
Yep, and
to-
over here is some Blargs.
Oh yeah, that's they just ripped the model from the 2016 game. You
Yeah,
cannot
I'm pretty sure
convince me
straight up.
otherwise.
Which they did.
To be fair, the 2016 game does look really good, and it
Oh,
would
yeah.
fit in this art style and everything. Totally
Yeah,
fine.
especially
This
now
is
that they have
100%.
a PS5 version. Like, there's no reason not to, so...
Yeah, this game 100%, visually speaking, is an extension to the 2016 game, which is fine. It's a 2016 game.
Oh, it's a new weapon. It is the lightning rod.
All right, Zurkon Jr.
Larry,
can tell us
stop
how it
walking!
works. Also, I learned that this is a feature they took away from, what's it called?
Yep, this is a thing they
from-
had in the Kraken time.
Yeah.
Although they made it less funny. Boo.
So, I haven't played the game Kraken Time enough to know 100% what they're doing, or like how everything works. But I do have a question about this game in regards to that
Okay,
game.
so I can't afford that weapon, but I can afford the Ricochet, which is a good weapon, and I do want it. So I am buying
Yeah, I
it.
get it, but it's still not
Full
better
rack.
than the.
Still a weapon.
It's still not better than the sprinkler, but you can't convince me that it would be better.
Sprinkler is basically a stun gun mixed with the mini turret, so yeah, it's really good.
Oh Jesus! I thought it was just a good-looking weapon in general. I didn't think it was actually kind of overpowered.
Yeah, it actually stays good till the end. Which, I mean, to be fair, no weapon in this game really has like Lancer syndrome. It's just
I feel like most games after 2 are pretty good in that department. 1 technically is already pretty good in that department because, well,
because there was no
because
level
of how
ups.
1 works.
Like there was gold weapons, but
Yeah, exactly.
that was it.
Exactly. But even then, it's like, whatever. I haven't signed out on the PlayStation Store. What was I gonna say again? Oh yeah. So I was gonna ask you, does this game? So in a crack of time, because this is basically a sequel to Crack of Time. I don't feel bad for mentioning this. You just don't have to elaborate if you don't want to spoil anything in terms of that game for me.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I know that you can sort of change how your weapons work a little bit.
You mean like the weapon modifications? No, that is not a thing in this game. That is just a Crack in Time.
Aww. I mean,
I know. Yeah, I miss it too.
with it, but it seems like, yeah, it seems like in concept, it seems like a really cool thing actually.
And so this area infuriates me because they committed cardinal sin for the Ratchet Clank series.
Think I'd be used to that by now.
You're not allowed to bring your weapons out. Also, later on, once we get some, I'm just gonna say better movement options, that's blocked off too, which infuriates me. So let's grab this. Hi. It's a Fluffy! It's a Krager Bear, and that we need all of them for one of the trophies. So I need to remember to grab them all. Apparently I missed the one at Sargasso. I don't even know how I pulled that off.
Zurky's usually behind the bar.
Well, maybe you just didn't know you had to grab it at a first glance.
Sheep!
Yo, there's
Somehow
a sheep.
sheep isn't the best reference in this scene. Mr. Zurkon!
Hey Zurky, have you seen our favorite
Also, is that a Sheepinator reference?
I need a signal boost.
Sheep! Rusty Pete!
Oh, hey, you're
Almost.
from Tools. I remember you.
Yeah. It was also in the intro for this game.
Oh yeah, that is true. You're right. When they were talking about their baddies or whatever that they were against or whatever, I think.
Like even just like the three guys that were out there, like it was Captain Quark, it was Skid, and then there was Rusty Pete. Well, Captain Quark did most of the talking, because of course he's Captain Quark.
I'll fight you for it.
Zurky's is a violence-free zone.
No! You are not Mr. Zurkon! No! Sit in shame! For shame! No, Mr.
I just
Zurkon
want
would
you to
say
know-
no violence.
I think I have to re-download the game. Just want you to know that.
Ready to kick some robo butt?
I have many issues with that question.
It
you
logged
should.
me out for no reason, and I guess it doesn't save your install if it logs you out.
Okay, so
Oh.
time to get our selfie, and we are getting it with the most important reference to that entire scene that I didn't mention until now. If you look back here, you can see Dan Johnson!
Oh, Dan!
Yep, he's back there! That's the reference for the game. They turned him into a
Well,
toy.
Well, you and me did wonder where he was gonna be.
Yeah, we did. Can I move the camera back? Sure.
The answer is yes if you try hard.
Here, I don't need Rivet. I just need a sheep and Mr. Dan Johnson. Hey, how's it going?
Is there like a vignette effect? Can you get rid of that? Yeah, there should be a vignette option.
Like this? Yeah.
Get rid of it. Get rid of the vignette size. Why is it still blurred out on the sides? It shouldn't be.
I mean, that's not qualified as vignette in this game. I think that's
Is it the
qualified as
focus system?
focus. I don't know if I have it backwards or not. I think I do. Go backwards? I mean, okay, it got slightly better for him as it went to minimum.
Maybe it's exposure.
No, exposure's just lighting. You don't want me messing with that,
FOV?
trust me.
FOV? FOV! FOV! FOV!
Hey, how's it going? They locked me in a box!
I feel like this is just Mayo having a good old time.
Yeah, it's about as unblurry as we can get it. We just got Sheep checking out Dan Johnson.
I do love me some sheep.
Yeah, you know what? Screw it. There's the image.
I mean, you can't even see the sheep really, unless you really are like, oh yeah, that's the sheep.
Yeah, well, alright.
Take out those pirates.
Hey, is this an arena?
I'll
Yep, this is the arena for this game. They pretty much lifted it straight one for one from Crack in Time.
So this hit list of the emperors, are you?
Didn't you say the ones in the Kraken timer, or not in the Kraken timer? Didn't you say the ones in this game are pretty short though?
They are, yeah. They kind of gimped them compared to Crack in Time 2 here. For one, silver and gold, as you can see here, they are locked. They will continue to be locked until story progression. So there's not really much point of finishing bronze, unfortunately. Unless I
You get
just
money for it?
I mean, yeah, I get money, which is good, and I will probably still do just for that reason alone.
Also, I'm assuming they're making you do the one for story reasons because
Yeah, it's actually 2 they're making me do here, which, yes, I know it's dumb. You select 1, but they have you do 2.
Wait, it's Zurkon Jr. You're
Yep,
the guy who
hey.
tells us about the weapons.
Yep. Zurkon Jr. takes over the Bloodlust in this game.
I like him.
So what weapons do I have exactly? Because I need to re-equip myself. I have the Sprinkler. I have the
Best
Fungi.
weapon. Worst weapon. Best weapon. Why are you killing the pirates again? I thought they were your friend.
I mean, Pierre, aka Pete, decided he wanted to fight with me, so I guess we're fighting pirates again.
Imagine if they... I know you've beaten the game, so you already know how it works, but I'm just imagining a scenario where they end up just being the final boss anyways.
Yeah, they just completely overshadow Nefarious.
Yeah.
I'd feel bad for Nefarious if he didn't already have so many games where he was the main villain.
To be fair, that exact thing basically happens, but replace the what's it called? Or replace them, the robot, the pirates with Tachyon, because again, Tachyon
got
just
completely
appears, he just disappears,
And then he
comes
comes
back. And then the person who made him gets the award.
Yep, they got the Snow
Award.
Beast.
Which, you know, it's funny, man, because I think we were talking about the Snow Beast in one of the parts again, because of course we would. This is an Insomniac game. But if we didn't,
Who got it for this
either
game?
way,
Like, I'm trying to
either
think.
way-
I'm
yeah,
not entirely sure.
I would like
I have
to know
a
who got it for this
theory.
game and Spider-Man games.
Oh, you just want to know what it is for every game they give it out for.
I do. I genuinely do.
Oh yeah, I'm curious. Like, I don't want to bully whoever got it or whatever. It's just I'm curious. You don't even have to say
Yeah.
who it went to. Just say
Yeah.
what they got it for.
Yeah, exactly. So it's funny because I know somebody who has talked to Ted Price in emails before, and he even did like a few months ago, before this game was even out. Even like messaged Ted Price, and Ted Price actually talked back to him again. I genuinely was like, hey, dude, you should ask Ted Price. Like, I was like, you should ask him. You should say, hey, congratulations on the reception of this game being good, because it is. And then I was like, then you should ask him, you know, out of curiosity, you know, what is this, as it goes with the Snow
What are the
Beast.
Snow Beast awards for the last,
Yeah, who?
last few games?
Yeah, I didn't
'Cause we
say-
still don't know who got it for Spider-Man. Like the 2018
Yeah,
one.
I told, in how I mentioned how he should mention it to him, but he said he wouldn't because he's afraid that, you know, Ted Price might want to just cut contact for asking a random question or whatever. But how I specifically mentioned it is I said you should ask him what got a Snow Beast in every game, not who, but what.
No need for a multi-ball. Another one. Kill 2 enemies with a single ricochet round.
I mean, it's called
Yeah, it's pretty
Ricochet.
easy.
If you don't do that, I would be concerned.
Yeah. So speaking of, this is the ricochet. It basically you fire and then you mash the fire button to have it keep bouncing until it breaks.
So when you mash the fire button, does that mean only one bullet's allowed to be out at a time? Or something?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's pretty fast though, so it's not like you're really doing it too bad. Although I do get hurt when I
Also-
get ganged up on like this.
I do want to ask you about this, because... Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Before I ask you about this, why is it now showing me... Why did my...
That's a
up-
death which I did not set up like a dumb... Oh, okay,
Oh.
I'm loading it now.
So for some reason, it just didn't save any of my install progress, which makes no sense, despite the fact I literally just paused the install so I could get back to the main menu. But anyways, I was gonna ask a question. What was it? Oh yeah. So the triggers in this game.
Yes.
Oh, I was trying to re-download the game again. That's probably why it was acting up. Anyways, so now that you've beaten the game, did you manage to find a control scheme that works without having to deal with the?
I mean, we already did that while we were recording. Remember?
Okay, but that was like the end all be all. Like you didn't find anything better that eventually worked
that's
better.
it. That's all I needed.
Okay.
Like there is still a couple weapons that still kind of need you to press halfway, but it won't get locked in place at half anymore. Which, for those specific weapons, I don't need it anyway.
Okay.
Like one of them, it has a lock-on feature if you press a halfway, which like I don't really need that. It's nice.
Yeah, that's
Night
that's
will
kind
use
of
it still sometimes, but you don't really need it.
This is the shotgun weapon, right? This is
It's one of them,
essentially
yes.
the
Another one. Extreme gardening. Defeat 30 enemies while they're topiaried. I'm getting a lot of trophies here. Wave 3.
Wave 4, 5. How many waves are there?
It's either usually 4 or 5. I don't think it ever goes over 5.
Quick, between this wave and the next wave, activate your death counter.
I keep trying to set it up in between waves.
Well, that guy is dead. And by dead, I mean he's become one with nature. Oh, so is that robot.
Don't
You know,
wanna
shouldn't
become one
they-
with nature?
Theoretically speaking, shouldn't they disappear forever because they're robots? They're rusted over now. You know, they can't come back. Also, Mayo, I do have to pose one question for you.
Oh.
Come and buy a pixel.
No!
Sorry, you pulled out the weapon. I had to do it. So you said the fountain sprinkler weapon
Yes.
acts like a mini turret. When you say that, do you quite literally mean like it acts like a mini turret, like it homes in on enemies?
Yeah.
Oh, it does. Okay. I figured it actually just went in a circle and eventually it would hit enemies. I did not know it acted like a mini turret because I think in the last
No,
time
like
we
it
recorded
doesn't
this-
damage, unfortunately. It just stuns.
But I assume what you meant by it when you said it's like a
this
mini
is all
turret
fine.
gun. I'm assuming what you meant is like, yeah, it locks on like mini turrets. And it stuns them. Which is pretty awesome, I must say.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I'm kind of surprised to give you this one so early for how good it is.
The real question is, though, would you say it's a Groovatron overpowered?
No, because it doesn't stun everyone right away.
Okay. Not only that, and it also probably doesn't explode, I would assume, like the
No.
Groovatron does?
Although even Groovatron doesn't explode until you either give the right game upgrades or you get level 5 during the game.
Ah, true. And if it's in the 2016 game, you can get that pulsating weapon, and you can put them both together, and then you really are broken at that point. That is something I did in challenge mode when just spamming the game to get all the trophies. 'Cause
Robot Pyro
you could get
boots.
through like every encounter.
Alright, let's.
So the question is, I know we talked about this before, or in the last part of whatever, or maybe it was 2 parts ago. I think it was 2 parts ago.
Oh,
Well,
I
first of all,
didn't change my death sound effect, so you know what? You're gonna get damn not here. Whatever, I don't care. And
not going up.
it's not. I selected it. Why aren't you going up?
I don't know, but you got a boss to kill again because this game
Hold on.
really loves bosses.
There. Okay. I didn't
So I
hear
think
the
this
sound
game is
effect, so if it
cranked
didn't go through, I'm sorry. I'm thinking maybe I'm not because it's damn not here. But thinking maybe I'm not because it's damn not here.
Look at his name. It's like Frank. It's like Frank. Oh,
I think what?
at least filter HP.
Yeah, and they refilled
So-
my ammo, which is honestly better for me than the HP. because I was so
They
low on
really-
ammo.
They really have a hard-on for bosses and mini-bosses.
They really do, especially here at the beginning.
Why am I surprised that Pierre's running from a fight?
I wonder how bad Kraken Time is. It's only a matter of time.
I do not think Ragtime had it anywhere near this hard.
Would you say it's more traditional,
It's,
like the
yeah,
original 3 games?
At the very least, in terms of boss quantity, yes. Also, no,
If
but
you
you can't use the bouncer if I'm not allowed to use the bouncer.
Hey guys, if you want a game that's Ratchet and Clank but all bosses, go play Deadlock.
I mean, yeah.
There's also vehicle games which aren't actually that bad, surprisingly.
Some of them, selectively.
Some of them, yeah. Bouncers in that game, so it's objectively good based on that alone.
Wait, is it?
I don't know why you
Bouncer
didn't
being
go
in
for that health. I'm pretty sure the bouncer's in the game.
I don't think it is. There's very few weapons in that game. I don't even think it has a rhino.
Well, I think they had to do that to circumvent for the fact that you could literally upgrade weapons to level 99.
I mean, they didn't have to do that.
Yeah, I know, you're right. Okay, so there's the Scorpion Flail, Dual Vipers, Magma Cannon, Hunter Mine Launcher. I think it's the Hunter Mine Launcher.
It's a mine launcher. What do you expect?
Is it like that one weapon in the second game that shoots out like those bombs?
I don't remember it being like any of the trilogy weapons now.
It's been a while since I played through Deadlock. It's funny because I actually was contemplating playing Deadlock sometime again soon because it's been a very, very, very long time since I played the game. Like very long, where I feel like I feel like I can warrant another playthrough without me feeling bad. Unlike playing Kingdom Hearts, where I've beaten the game a million times, but I insist on playing over it again. There's the B6 Obliterator.
That was just a bomb.
Yep. Then there's the Arbiter.
That was just the rocket launcher.
Yep. Then there's the Fusion Rifle. Well, that's just the Fusion Rifle from the
That's just a
second
rifle. Yeah.
game. Then there's the Hollow Shield Launcher, which I think just puts those shield things on the ground. Then there's mini turrets. There's actually a good amount of weapons in this game. Then there's the Harbinger, which is the super weapon. It's big and fancy and not all that practical. The Harbinger is an awesome show of power and force, but unfortunately not terribly useful outside of boss fights. Well, there's lots of boss fights, so it's okay.
What hit me?
Watching you die, and I like how you quite literally died.
Yeah, the beginning of the game is by far the most difficult part. Just because you have no health.
Well, it's just like, a lot of games are like that, to be fair. But just like in general, hell, Kingdom Hearts is like it, Dark Souls is fairly like it. Though, to be fair, you can just be good at Dark Souls and it won't be really
You
problematic.
can be good at literally any game ever.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you can say that for any game, though, to be fair. I would say it's more akin to, honestly, probably Kingdom Hearts 2, like, level 1 run, just cursory glance, because...
We get it, you want to play
hard.
Kingdom Hearts again.
It's hard all the way through. Well, it's also relevant for our channel, but that game is hard all the way through. But
You gotta level
it's
up
not
good,
that
10
bad.
more HP.
But it's not that bad after you get through the beginning, after you get through a certain point. Honestly, Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 just casually on crit mode, crit/proud are kind of like that, so... Yeah, this is what happens when you get more powerful, you get more HP, you get more weapons, naturally things are going to become easier. And through retaining, nice. Bloodlust.
Yes.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how good is the dash button?
The circle button, it saves me a lot, yeah. both for
No,
combat and
not
for
that button. The actual button that lets you run in the game.
Oh, you mean sprinting? I mean, like L3, I don't use that much. I use R1 a bit more, but it gets replaced later on. So,
I like how the
Think about
trophy
what
name
makes
is
a challenge.
Victory. It actually kind of confused me for a second. Also, I like. Is this a thing with all PS5 games? I kind of like how when you check the trophy, it actually pauses it on the spot.
Yeah, it's just it's an OS thing. Like even if you load PS4 games on, it'll still do that.
If I had to guess, there might be a select few games that it doesn't work or it doesn't work 100% properly.
I have not seen that game.
I'm bringing up the Souls series again. There's no pause button in that game.
In fact, I am with the Lombax now.
I could not see it working 100% properly. Like, maybe it'll freeze frame the screen, but as soon as you leave the menu, you know, it'll just teleport to whatever was supposed to be. Also, they're in the same dimension. I thought they were in different dimensions.
No, they're in the same dimension. No, they're both in Rivet's dimension.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, okay. The story is that they went to Rivet's dimension.
Yes, and they stay there for pretty much the entire game.
I think we have to build
That's
a
fair.
new one. I met a
Uh-oh.
prophet from Savali named Gary. He would know.
Gary the Prophet!
Yep.
I'm only a few sectors away from there. I can go check it out.
It makes me very curious if you just skip that Clank section right there, if they would either force you to do it,
Yeah.
or if he would just mention Gary and you'd be like, what? Who's Gary?
Yeah.
If I am right, we will be able
I feel like they probably play tested it enough where, you know, that's probably not the case. But I like to imagine that there's an alternate universe where you can easily just skip
Yeah, you
it,
say
'cause you
playtesting,
can
and I
still
say
think
this
about
is
it.
easily the glitchiest Ratchet Clank game out there. Easily.
Even glitchier than Tools?
Not even close. It is way glitchier. At least Tools hasn't hardlocked my console multiple times.
Okay, I have to point something out.
Although
here.
there's no
They
floating
both were-
boxes, I will give it that.
They both were like, ooh, another Lombax. And I'm gonna say, why are you guys even caring or surprised? You guys know you're from different dimensions or realities.
Well, I mean, it's still
Like, it's
another
not that
Lombax.
Yeah,
not
it's another
weird.
Lombax, but it's not that weird. Like, you shouldn't be too surprised.
I mean, they're not surprised. It's just, oh yay, finally.
Oh,
Or anything.
okay.
Especially in Rivet's
Yeah,
case.
maybe-
Like, maybe slightly less for Ratchet because there's the Azimuth.
If you're Zurkon,
There's also,
There's also the one that we
Angela.
don't talk about. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, apparently Angela doesn't exist anymore, which I still will never understand to this
Yeah,
day.
they basically retconned her into a corner. Now they cannot acknowledge her.
Did the writers just forget, and then they're like, "Oh God, well we can't fix this now."
I think they forgot in Tools, and then everyone brought up like, oh crud, like there's no way we can fix this.
Honestly, they probably could have found a way to fix
Like,
it. if-
maybe they could have, but they just it wasn't worth the effort to them. It honestly wasn't a big enough plot hole to really matter.
It probably could have been like, "Oh, well, Ratchet was just stupid and forgot."
You know how Jake has been explaining that. So, but yeah. Anyway, I think I'm probably going to stop the video here once this cutscene plays because next planet is Savali, and as I mentioned before, that's basically where it's in Crack Time 2.
I know I've been away for
Uh,
know how long.
Close your legs, please.
I thought
He did.
That was a sexual reference. I'm on to you, writer.
Oh, just speaking
think there's
with
two now.
my adoring fans.
I'm on to you, riders.
Enjoying
All right, now you're just turning into Captain Quark. I'm on to you, riders.
I don't see a problem with that.
that there are
I personally want everybody to turn into Captain Quark.
Lombaxes running around.
I want
This is
Captain
literally
Quark, and then
something-
I want this universe as Captain Quark. Then I want another universe as Captain Quark, and we just need the Captain Quark trio to have their own game.
Coupons to anyone
Do you think they made this cutscene with the intent of being like, let's just pretend, like, let's just do a mock of Captain Quark because he does this exact same thing?
so I can have some
I
fun
mean, Nefarious did this in Crack in Time,
with
too.
my elaborate spy
Oh,
network.
okay. Well, did they think they did it for that reason too in a Crack in Time?
I do not. No.
So,
I think it's just animation.
I mean, I feel like it'd be very in character for Nefarious to make little things like this literally for the sake of mocking Quark.
I do, but I also think that Nefarious no longer cares about Quark. Like, he stops caring about, even at his early Crack in Time, he just doesn't care.
son, it's okay.
Great. Now I'm on 2 nefarious hit lists.
and he knows
I like how
what we are
she
doing.
just stopped caring.
Dear.
Yeah, so, this point onward, we actually have 2 planets, Savali or Blizzard Prime. If you have the option, absolutely pick Savali. There's several reasons you should want to do Savali first.
I'm going to assume Blazon Mines is the same, similar to something like the desert in the second game.
If anything, Savali's closer to the desert.
Oh. Or I
you
guess
get a permanent upgrade in
Afghanistan.
Savali that is really, really good. Also, you can use it to break Blizzard Prime in half if you want to.
Actually, the real
Because it
question
does
is Savali more like the desert, the sewers, or Sargasso?
I don't entirely know how to answer that question, so I'm not entirely sure what you're asking.
I'll ask you after we're done with this part.
But anyway, as I keep trying to do before you keep asking random questions that are filled with spoilers, by the way. See y'all next time. Goodbye. All toasters toast toast.
Tenders! Also, there's Ratchet at the bottom left corner.
Yes, it is.
Hi, Ratchet.
Because they're saying Ratchet's playable in that level. Whereas you go here to Rivet. Then you have Rivet here, Rivet here, and then you have Ratchet back in Paris City. Yeah, so that works. See you then. Goodbye. I'll just toast.
Bye-bye. Chicken tenders, and don't forget to not press the bell button. If you do it, I will tell Mom.